Welcome to Morphin Monday, a Power Rangers watch along. This week, we're joined by legendary Red Ranger, Christopher Khayman Lee. That is right, one of the best Red Rangers from Power Rangers in Space. He's going to be talking about his experience, and he chose his favorite episode, Flashes of Darkonda, which is episode 16 of Power Rangers in Space. Now, the best enjoyment of this show, the best viewing experience of this show is to watch us on your phone on YouTube, plop in some headphones, and cue up your Netflix. And as we do the countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we will play the episode, and Chris and I will comment over it. So this is like your own DVD commentary or Blu-ray commentary, and Chris is going to be joining us right about now. All right, Christopher Khayman Lee, how you doing, buddy? There he is. Oh, I have him on mute, and I'm going to unmute him. Here we go. I can't unmute. You got to unmute yourself, my friend.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. It was just that simple. First and foremost, Chris, I got to ask you, what do you kind of remember from this episode? Like, take me back to this year. What is this? What year are we talking? 1997, roughly?
98.
98?
98, yeah.
Flashes of Darkonda. Darkonda is probably one of the best villains in Power Rangers history. This is one of the best episodes in Power Rangers history. What do you remember from this?
Oh my gosh. This is us going over a lot of stuff. Like talking about Andros's his background, his backstory, like where he came from and all that stuff, and his sister, what happened to Corone and all that. So yeah.
You know what? I didn't even ask you. You got your own Lightning Collection figure coming out. Are you excited?
Yes, I am. And,
are you gonna get your custom new head sculpt of your version of Andros now with the custom?
If I can find a way to do that, sure. Why
There's
not?
a person I know. We'll talk after this. Person I know that can literally do this with the Lightning Collection figures. But yes, let's get into this episode. Now we're gonna be watching along. I'm gonna do a countdown for our live audience at home. That's going to start right now. We're going to count it down from 5, and then on go is when you guys can hit play. So we're counting down now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Let's go. All right, this is a little different. This is a cold open here that we're getting, a picture of young Andros and Corone. Look at Chris Khayman Lee and that beautiful mane and hair. Is this a set here?
Wait, I'm trying to catch up to you. Okay. Sorry. Oh, was this a set? Yeah. This was the soundstage. Yeah. Everything that was on the everything that was ever on the ship or anything like that. Yeah, that's all soundstage. There actually wasn't a lot to it. There was only like 3 rooms, something like that. So 3 actual rooms, and then it was mostly hallways.
So this part of the ship, it looks massive. Was this set massive? The actual ship?
It was pretty big. It was like I wouldn't say a whole hangar or anything like that, but it was pretty big. There was a lot of spaceship go around. So yeah.
The voice of Decca, we see a lot with Decca here. The voice of Decca, who was reading that to you guys off screen?
I think that would have been that might have been Lee. She was always on the set helping out our producers and whatnot. She might have been the one doing the voiceover for like any characters that are off screen stuff. Like
really? That. Look at that. Look at little Andros, pretty well cast. Now, what do you remember from seeing some of this back? I mean, when's the last time you saw this episode?
It's been a while. It's been more than a little while. God, I don't even know. We're talking years.
Wow. Do you have any vivid memory? Oh, here's the opening. First of all, I love this song. Here's your beautiful cast: Tracy, Lynn, and Patricia. There's Chris. You got some stories here. Give me a story about Roger.
Story about Roger? No, I don't have any stories about Roger, man. That's a Roger question.
So we got a lot of folks that worked on the show. Jonathan Zacher, beautiful Power Rangers in Space logo here. Now walk me through some of this. Right here is an exterior scene. This is probably from the Japanese footage, but you're back on the set here, looking quite upset. And you said these are, I will say, for being as a lot of hallways, it looks pretty massive. Like this ship looks pretty complete.
It really does. I do know that we kind of recycled rooms over and over again. So
I didn't
like
know that.
certain rooms would serve as more than one room at a time.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Now,
so like, but we always had the bridge, and then we had the room with the jump tubes, and then the engine room. But then I think we had other rooms, and then like they would just, the crew would just come in and like, take out some of the furniture or whatever, and then here's another thing, and now it's a whole new room.
always was fascinated by this planet Onyx, and I always thought it was one of the most fun things they created. Where is this shot?
This was it was somewhere here in California. It's a set that's been used so many times in the past for just Western films and stuff like that. Oh my God, monkey.
There he is. There's Darkonda, man. What a cool looking villain. What a cool looking costume.
Yeah, this has been used so many times in so many different films, but I think this might have even been used in Back to the Future, Part 3.
Oh yeah, that makes tons of sense. Let me ask you a question about this, because in this episode in particular, it's really you on set. Now, were you back when you were doing the show? Were you guys doing 3 episodes a week, like some of these more current seasons?
Yeah, that was typically the way we would do it. We'd film in a cluster, so it was usually 3 episodes a week. Yeah.
And with this particular episode, is this shot by second unit since it's mainly you?
Yeah, this would have been second unit stuff. Yeah, totally.
Now, with the second unit going a little bit behind the scenes here, this is really a day off for the rest of your fellow actors, but really a day that you have the most to do on set. But with that being said, with you shooting 3 episodes in a week, is it a little hard to keep track of what the storyline is for you guys? Or are you guys just so burnt? Because this is episode 16, you're about a little under halfway through your run. Are you getting a little bit of Power Ranger burnout at this point in 16 episodes in?
I don't think I was. I was pretty amped about it. I mean, the moment that it really sunk in that yes, we are doing Star Wars. This is Star Wars. I was like, okay, you know what? I grew up not liking Power Rangers, or I wanted to have anything to do with it. But since it's Star Wars Power Rangers, I'm in. I'm good with it. So let's do this. I mean, this whole scene is the cantina from Mos Eisley.
Exactly, and I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I believe it's in this episode they mentioned the Dagobah system.
Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, and I do remember. Because Selwyn said it. He was saying it to Patty, like, we got to go to the Dagobah system. And I do remember, because I was on set when I heard it, and I was just like, I'm sorry, where are we going? What? We're not going where I just thought we were going, right? And I looked in the script, and I was like, yeah, it's spelled the same and everything. And I was like, wow, the ball's on you.
Yeah, right? That's completely true. I mean, I believe at the time, though, this was airing on Fox Kids, and I know the license was with Fox. Disney, the Star Wars license was Fox, so maybe it just kind of flew under the radar.
I'm assuming it did. I'm very much going to assume it did.
So is this the first episode where you get a sense of like, wow, this definitely is a Star Wars kind of a, not parody as much as a inspiration for this?
Inspiration is a very light way of putting it, but yes, this definitely was like this whole scene and all that is a very big shining like example of that. They did, they did tell me at some point that it's like, oh well, Astronema is Corona is your sister, so it's like the good guy is related to the bad guy, and it's like, wow, I mean, we're going ham-fisted on this, huh? We're not even going to try to be like subtle about anything. No.
How much did you know about the character of Andros prior to you getting the role?
Actually, very little. All I knew was that, yeah, he's an alien. He's the red guy, and in the beginning, he doesn't care for the new members of his team, which would be the Turbo cast. I did feel like they kind of messed that up a little bit, because I felt like it was a good idea to not have him really like want to associate with these other four people that he has no idea who they are. He's never met them. He's not like, is he even the same species? I mean, I know he says, yeah, we're human, but it's like, you have magic powers. Are you really like one of them? I don't know. So I kind of felt that they really should have stretched that out a bit longer and made it a little while before they really bonded and all that. I kind of wish they did, but hey,
or even leave that tension all the way through the whole series, where, you know what I mean? That is something quite fascinating. You know, something you mentioned, and I didn't even pick up on this, is that you're right. Andros did have this force kind of power where he was able to move things around. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. A lot of people do because he never uses it in a fight.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, because I've said this for a long time. If you've got two characters who are going to get into a fight and one of them does telekinesis, they're going to win. It doesn't matter what the other person can do. If you have telekinesis, you win. That's it. You just hold them in place and then you come up and you stab them with a spiral saber or something. That's it.
That's well thought out, actually, and that's completely true. Do you know why the decision was made to kind of drop the telekinesis side of your character?
I honestly have no idea. I thought that it was going to be like, I thought that once they actually did like introduce that to it, I thought that they were going to really kind of roll with it, because that would have put a whole new spin on different fights and whatnot, on like fight scenes and whatnot, because it would have been, you know, it would have been a lot more wire gags, you know, holding somebody up in place or whatever, you know, throwing furniture around with your mind and all that stuff. That would have been very different from what had been seen on Power Rangers before that, where it's always, I've got a sword, I've got a bow, and that's how we fight, and that's it. Whereas I could just be like, I will pick up a car and hit you with it. That'll work.
Something I love about this scene we're watching right now, this is truly, this is obviously martial arts stuff, but this is more of a lightsaber scene than anything else. Now that we're really going full into this Star Wars thing. And prior to you having that hood down, was that you, or was that a stuntman in the hood?
With the hood, with the black mask over the face, that is definitely one of the stuntmen. Because if it was me, which I think a lot of this I could have handled pretty easily, but if it was me the whole time, they would have loved to be able to show the face. So throw the sword at him. See, there you go. That's
look at that
for you.
I have a question. So with
that is not me though. The chandelier thing. That is not me.
That wasn't you.
That was not on the chandelier. The jumping onto the chandelier and hanging off of that. No, that was Ken Bazooka, one of the stuntmen. Yeah, that was not me.
You see your galaxy glider there. Now, a lot of things. A lot of people talk about this, whether or not they had a lot of in suit time. I know that JDF says that he's had the most in suit time. How much did you actually wear the suit on your season? If
as in the suit with the red helmet?
Yeah, well, not with the red. Well, even just in general, with the red helmet or even without it.
Very, very rarely. Honestly, I'm gonna say at the most maybe 4 times ever.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, obviously, like scenes where we're holding the helmets in our hands, or you know, whatever. That's really it. They didn't have us fight with the suits because you've always got the helmets on, and whenever the helmets are on, that's the stuntman. So.
Oh, here we go. Here we are with the rest of the cast. I love watching you guys interact. I don't, for some reason, I love the chemistry that the 5 of you have together. All right, when you include Justin, the 6 of you have together, it's really, really good. But let me ask you about this. So here we go with Darkonda again. Now I know that you have your own ideas of where Andros would be, and I think that's going to get explored a little bit in certain fan films. I don't want to give too much away, but what started getting you on the idea of moving Andros away from what most people may think he would have ended up at?
Actually, it was 2 people. It was Rando and Kat, 2 very, very, very near and dear friends of mine. They kind of introduced the whole idea to me, going as far as, you know, like, oh, well, Astronomer's sister, who's their parents, and that
Right.
was that's the really big, like, that's the big question, because never see the parents, no mention of their names, no nothing or anything like that. So yeah, it was Rando and Kat. They basically they presented an idea to me, and when they did it, I was like, damn, that really makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it like that before. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, I cannot say that much about it though. I wish I could right now.
I wish you could too. I mean, I know that you and I had a really good conversation a Little Tokyo over multiple drinks, talking
But
about it,
yes.
and I'm really excited to see it all come together because I think it's a phenomenal idea. Now let me ask you: there's been a lot of talk, especially around this era, that Power Rangers was going to die, and that Power Rangers in Space was the season that saved it. How far into the season did you guys kind of get that message that, hey, this might be the last one? And when did you start seeing, because I almost feel like right off the bat, the storytelling is more complex than we had seen in previous seasons. So when did the reins feel like it was taken off and being a show that's a little bit edgier?
I remember them telling us very early on. I'm not sure. Maybe they told some of the other guys, the other actors, later on. But I remember Larry. He was one of the producers on the show, and I remember him saying it that, yeah, this is going to be the last season of Power Rangers. That's going to be it. No more. And I was like, huh, didn't see that coming. Okay. And
So
then before, I think it might have been before we started filming our second half of the season, which I think was right about when Justin became a member of the team again. They had told us that, oh, no, never mind. No, we're going to keep cranking this out because, yeah, fans are loving it. Everybody's having a good time with it. So yeah, we're going to keep it going.
So I heard a story, and maybe you can confirm this. This is a story that I've heard, and it's been passed down. You know how these Power Rangers legends go. So I heard the story that originally they saw the footage, I don't know if it was a trailer or promo stuff that Toy did, and Saban and Chip Lynn and all these guys saw it, and they said, "Oh, this is going to be a space season." So immediately they made Power Rangers in Space. Little did they know it was actually more like a video game season.
Right.
But they stuck with the space motif. And it was fairly successful to the point where Lost Galaxy even became a space season, even though it had nothing to do with space.
Right.
So with that being said, how much did you know about your Japanese counterpart series? Is that story true, by the way, the one I just told?
Okay, so coming into the show, I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about Sentai or anything like that. But as I got closer and closer to the stuntmen, and I was working out with them and all that, particularly Takahiro, who was one of the red in my suit. Hiroshi was number one. He was always in red, and then Takahiro would be in red too if Hiroshi wasn't there. But he and I really hit it off because I guess we were both around the same age, and he was one of the few that could actually speak pretty damn good English, so we could actually understand each other. Yeah, he started showing me on set like footage from Mega Ranger, and I mean, I don't know if Jonathan and Chip and all of them, I don't know if they realized that the show was about a video game, because it was pretty much about video games and stuff like that. I don't know if they realized that or not, but I do know that once they had their mindset on something, they were like, screw it, we're going to go with this. We're just going to, balls to the wall. We're going to go with it. So that's what they did. But yeah, Takahiro showing me some of the footage from the Super Sentai, I was shocked by what they're allowed to get away with, and how mild ours is in comparing it to it, like particularly the violence. The violence is just wow. I just kept wanting to watch theirs. I was like, no, man, forget mine. I want to watch what you guys do over there, because damn, that is so cool.
Well, it's fair to say though that there are definitely seasons where a lot of people enjoy the Super Sentai over the Power Rangers, but I feel like this is one of those seasons where a lot more people enjoyed the Power Ranger side of it over the Super Sentai side. At least a lot of the people I've heard. So credit to you guys. Now, you talked about Jonathan and Chip earlier on. Do you have any stories about them? Because I'm assuming you had to audition for them, right? Like when you got the role?
Actually, no. I didn't audition for Jonathan. Jonathan was one of the executive producers. Chip was basically the head of the writing department, if not the entire writing department.
Oh, wow.
But actually, when I first auditioned for it, I auditioned for it with Shuki Levy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's Chaim Saban's like right-hand man.
Yeah.
So I never met Chaim, never, but I met Shuki in the audition, and I guess he just liked the fact that I really didn't want to be there and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. It did take a while for them to get back to me, but I know that they were actually auditioning all over the country. They went to every major city from like the east going to the west. They went to every major city, and yeah, they found me.
Crazy. Now, I want to ask you, so much of this episode now that we're seeing is a lot of it is dependent on ADR. Can you don't necessarily need you to walk me through the ADR process, but can you talk to me about the ADR a little bit? Because everything that I've heard from previous Rangers that it's usually done after the shows, after you guys have done principal photography. And just talk to me about some of the things that you guys would have to do in the ADR process.
The ADR was probably one of the most fun places to be. The guy who was in charge of ADR is Scott Page-Pachter. He was, not now, obviously, but he was. And Scott was, he was just phenomenal to work with. I had never done any ADR before, so I had no idea what the hell I was doing the first time I went in there. And they were like, all right, you got to do some grunting noises. And I was like, define. I don't know what that means. What do you mean grunting noises? And they're like, oh, you're getting hit by something. So it sounds like you're getting hit. And I'm trying to do it. And he was like, okay. Now do it where it doesn't suck. And I was like, oh, we're going there, are we? Okay. So it almost became a challenge with him. But everything that he ever said was always in good fun. It's just, first time meeting him, and that's what he basically tells me is try not to suck so much at your job. I'm just like,
okay, so
asshole.
The episode just ended. It's a to be continued. Now, wait, I love these bloopers at the end. Walk me through some of your favorite blooper. Like, we got Selwyn messing up the word Dagobah there. Dude, walk me through some of your favorite blooper moments from the series.
Oh my God, a lot of our blooper moments. Well, a lot of the ones that would show up on the end of the show, these are not as much really bloopers as they were just do something kind of goofy. Because more often than not, whenever we had a real blooper, that ended in a very strong expletive, and that would not end up on Fox TV. That was not going to happen. These were done just because, the show's a little more serious, so let's find a way to lighten it up. Now we'll just throw in some goofy stuff at the end. What the hell?
That's exactly what it got. Now that all the dust is settled with Andros, if you had your own way, I mean, and technically you kind of do, especially with what's coming out a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
Without giving too much away, I guess, where do you think Andros would be in the universe of Power Rangers currently?
Oh, he's a Sith Lord, man. He's totally a Sith Lord. That's where he's going. If you look at this character is a character who is mentally he would have clocked out.
Oh yeah,
very very early on. I've brought this up at conventions before, where I've said to people oh, where do you think Andros would be right now? And then I would say, well, I think that's where he would be, because I would think that mentally he's gone. The reason why is everybody that he gets to know, he loses somehow. The only one that he knew for sure was still alive was Zane, but he's in like a deep, deep coma in the freezer of the ship, and he's just holding on to him. He has no idea if he's going to come out of it. So it's like he's basically holding on to him because this is a memory that I have of my friend. I'm not going to let him die, but I mean, he's basically pudding right now. He can't do anything. So what the hell? Just screw it, leave him. But one of the easiest ways to see that is the fact that, in the very first episode where you see me, not with the suit, but actual me, he runs out to help out the other 4 Rangers. They're not even Power Rangers at that point.
Right.
They were like regular kids, teenagers and stuff. They didn't have any superpowers at that point. And he runs out and he's like, "Oh, here's a morpher, and you take one, and you got one, and that one's yours, and here you go, that's yours." Where did they come from? They came from the original team. Why don't they have it? Because they're probably dead. So it's like, yeah, he lost his sister. He's lost his entire planet. He has no idea, who's alive on that. His best friend is in a coma, and, is he ever going to wake up? I have no idea. And all of his teammates are dead. So it's like, the time for a psychotic break, a mental breakdown or something like that, it's going to happen.
Right. It's fascinating because also Andros, the character Andros, plays a big part into what we're developing with our Power Rangers Cosmic Protectors thing. And the way that I did a character study on Andros very specifically, and a lot of the things that you're saying are completely accurate. Number one, you have to think, like you said, and this is something else I would like to do. We should work on this. Is I almost want to do an audio series about Andros' original team, like that final mission that happened. You know what I mean?
I get you.
But you have to think about that. He loses his teammates, right? After that, he finds out his sister was the villain all along. He has, I don't want to give anything away, but he has questionable parentage issues going there. He also killed Zordon. And something that goes overlooked too, especially with the Boom Studios comic, is that he holds a little bit of resentment towards his sister for caring for these Psycho Rangers as her children almost. Mm-hmm. So it's almost kind of like, what is going on in this guy's world? So I almost see him kind of like, even with his relationship with Ashley, almost detaching from it and kind of just trying to figure out things on his own. And somewhere along the way gets pulled or influenced in a different direction, which makes complete sense to a character. You look at a lot of these guys that come back from like wars that have to go to these support groups and PTSD. I feel that Andros kind of has a lot of similarities going on there.
Yeah. We're right there. Yeah.
Oh man, it makes you miss Little Tokyo and drinks at the bars, doesn't it, Chris?
It does.
Well, buddy, look, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. When this quarantine is all done, I think we should go out to drinks, or hey, maybe we should just get together and have some drinks soon. By the way, also, we'll talk about it in just a second. I'll talk to you about something in a second. But this has been so much fun. Chris, what do you got going on? What are you working on right now?
Well,
your Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah. Well, later on tonight, I am going to live stream in a little while. I'm going to live stream. That's at my Twitch channel is Chris Khayman Lee. Me and my friends, like normally we just get drunk and we say a lot of really horrible shit to each other and we just play video games all night. That's what it is. So.
Yeah, you pretty much that's called a Friday night with Chris Khayman Lee actually. So
pretty much.
If you ever hang out with Chris Khayman Lee, that's a Friday night. Like the only dude I've ever met. You and have you met Caleb Bendit yet?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
He plays I believe he plays Monty in Power Rangers Ninja Steel. So fun story about him. I remember we did a podcast together. He legit brought me a bottle of Jack Daniels. My first immediate thought was, oh man, him and Chris Khayman Lee, they would love each other because that's all we would do. First thought. But Chris, so much fun. I'd love to have you on this again. We can deep dive another episode at your leisure. But thank you so much. Amazing job, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
All right, buddy.